519, this here's a rubber duck. You got a copy on me, Big Ben? Come on. Yeah, 10-4, Big Ben, for sure, for sure. By golly, it's clean clear to Flagtown. Come on. Yeah, it's a big 10-4 there, Big Ben. Yeah, we definitely got the front door, good buddy. Mercy sakes alive, it looks like we got us a convoy.
Well, the dark of the moon on the 6th of June in a Kenworth pulling logs. Cab over Pete with a reefer on and a Jimmy hauling hogs. We's a-heading for Bear on the I-10 about a mile out of Sheiky Town. I says, Pigpen, this here's a rubber duck, and I'm about to put the hammer down. By the time we got into Tulsa town, we had 85 trucks and all. But there's a roadblock up on the cloverleaf, and them bears is wall to wall. Yeah, them smokies as thick as bugs on a bumper. They even had a bear in the air. I says, call it on trucks, this here's the duck. We about to go hunting bear. Well, we rolled up Interstate 44 like a rocket sled on rails. We tore up all our swindle sheets and left them setting on the scale. By the time we hit that Chi-town, them bears was getting smart. They brought up some reinforcements from the Illinois National Guard. There was armored cars and tanks and jeeps and rigs of every size. Yeah, them chicken coops was full of bears and choppers filled the skies. Well, we shot the line. We went for broke with 1,000 screaming trucks and 11 long-haired friends of Jesus in a chartreuse microbus.
Yeah, rubber duck, you sodbuster, come over here. 10-4, sodbuster. Listen, you want to put that microbus in behind that suicide jockey? Yeah, he's holding dynamite and he needs all the help he can get.
Well, we laid a strip for the Jersey Shore, prepared to cross the line. I could see the bridge was lined with bears, but I didn't have a doggone dime. I says, Pigpen, this here's a rubber duck. We just ain't a-gonna pay no toll. So we crashed the gate doing 98. I says, let them truckers roll 10-4.
Big wheels rolling, moving on. Big wheels rolling, gotta keep 'em going. Big wheels rolling, moving on. White lines, a lifeline to a nation, and men like Will and Sonny make the move. Living like a gypsy, always on the go, doing what the best know how to do. Jamming gear has got to be a fever, 'cause men become addicted to grind. It takes a special breed to be a truck driving man, and a steady hand to pull that load behind. Big wheels rolling, moving on. Big wheels rolling, gotta keep 'em going. Big wheels rolling, moving on. All that country music keeps them going, and Will and Sonny keep on moving on. A good hot cup of coffee is waiting up ahead, and the rhythm of the highway hums along. Jamming gears has got to be a fever, 'cause men become addicted to the grind. It takes a special breed to be a truck driving man, and a steady hand pull that load behind. Big wheels rolling, big wheels rolling, moving on. Big wheels rolling, gotta keep 'em going. Big wheels rolling, moving on.
I was out on the West Coast trying to make a buck, and things didn't work out. I was down on my luck. Got tired of roaming and bumming around, so I started thumbing back east towards my hometown. Made a lot of miles the first 2 days, and I figured I'd be home in a week if my luck held out this way. But the third night, I got stranded way out of town. At a cold, lonely crossroads, rain was pouring down. I was hungry and freezing, and then caught a chill when the lights of a big semi topped the hill. Lord, I was sure glad to hear them air brakes come on, and I climbed in that cab where I knew it'd be warm. At the wheel sat a big man. He weighed about 210. He stuck out his hand and said with a grin, "Big Joe's the name." And I told him mine. He said the name of my rig is Phantom 309. I asked him why he called his rig such a name. He said, "Son, this old Mac hadn't put 'em all to shame. There ain't a driver or a rig a running any line that's seen nothing but tail lights from Phantom 309. Well, we rode and talked the better part of the night when the lights of a truck stop came in sight. He said, "I'm sorry, son, this is as far as you go, 'cause I gotta make a turn just on up the road." Well, he tossed me a dime and he pulled her in low and said, "Have yourself a hot cup on old Big Joe." When Joe and his rig roared out in the night, in nothing flat, he was clean out of sight. Well, I went inside and ordered me a cup, told the waiter Big Joe was sitting me up. Oh, you could have heard a pin drop. It got deathly quiet, and the waiter's face turned kind of white. "Well, did I say something wrong?" I said with a halfway grin. He said, "No, this happens every now and then. Every driver in here knows Big Joe. But son, let me tell you what happened about 10 years ago. At the crossroads tonight, where you flagged him down, there was a busload of kids a-coming from town. They were right in the middle when Big Joe topped the hill. It could have been slaughter, but he turned his wheels. Well, Joe lost control and went to a skid and gave his life to save that bunch of kids. And there at that crossroads was the end of the line for Big Joe and Phantom 309. But every now and then some hiker will come by and, like you, Big Joe, give him a ride. Here, have another cup and forget about the dime. Keep it as a souvenir from Big Joe and Phantom 309.
I was riding this 18-wheeler before they painted lines. Never made much money, thought I couldn't make no time. Used to be a running battle between old Smokey and me. But now I got a 6-foot Shakespeare, me and Ole C.B. Well, tonight I got the front door, can't always have the rocking chair. Pigpen's got that back door closed, just told me on the air. Just checked out the westbound. Roadhog says she's clean. Looks like a money-making run for me and Ole C.B. Ace the blue-eyed Indian still runs with single drive. Old single drive, he's a ratchet jaw, but he keeps the night alive. And Jolly Jack, that beaver nuts checking covers on the seat. We're looking for a red Pinto, me and Ole C.B. Tobacco Circle City peddler, boy, he's getting fat. He makes us turn at Derby Town. I couldn't live like that. That chicken coop is open, and so is D.O.T. Hey, appreciate that info, Cisco, me and Ole C.B. The California Devil, he's down at Market 25. He just hollered, breaker, breaker, hey, them bushes are alive. Now comb your hat, they're taking pictures down at 23. We'll give them a big fine smile, me and Ole C.B. Now look at that four-wheel burn, baby. Just blew off my back door. Old Smoke is gonna get him. That's a big 10 Ford. Now Hawkeye's had to hammer down since Nashville, Tennessee. He just saved some green stamps, thanks to me and Ole C.B. 8 Ball from Shaky City. He's talking to a bass. Coming on to that Cupid doll. You sound like a little pretty face. If he'd give me a breaker, I'd tell her to go on down the street. She might be running single, like me and Ole C.B. Windy City Charlie, he's down at Market 9. I just checked my 20 and I ain't running far behind. Me and this 18-wheeler, well, we're just about home free. Made damn good time, didn't pay one fine. Me and Ole C.B. Yeah, come on in there, old fella. That's a big 10 Ford. Yeah, come on in there. Me and Earl was hauling chickens on a flatbed out of Wiggins, and we'd spend all night on the uphill side of 37 miles of hell called Wolf Creek Pass, which is up on the Great Divide. We sitting there sucking toothpicks and drinking knee-highs and onion soup mix, and I says, Earl, let's mail a card to Mother and send them chickens on down to the other side. Yeah, let's give them a ride.
Wolf Creek Pass way up on the Great Divide, trucking on down the other side.
Well, Earl put down his bottle, Max his foot down on the throttle, and a couple of boobs and 1,000 cubes and a 1948 Peterbilt screamed alive. We woke up the chickens. We roared up off of that shoulder, spraying pine cones, rocks, and boulders, and put 400 head of them Rhode Island Reds and a couple of burnt-out roosters on the line. Look out below, 'cause here we go.
Wolf Creek Pass way up on the Great Divide, trucking on down the other side.
Well, we commenced to trucking, and them hens commenced to clucking. Then Earl took out a match and scratched his pants and lit up the unused half of a $1 cigar and took a puff. Says, my, ain't this pretty up here. I says, Earl, this hill can spill us. You better slow down or you gonna kill us. Just make one mistake and it's the pearly gates for them 85 crates of USDA approved pluckers. You wanna hit second?
Wolf Creek Pass way up on the Great Divide, trucking on down the other side.
Well, Earl grabbed on the shifter and he stabbed her in the 5th gear, and then the chromium-plated, fully illuminated, genuine accessory shift knob come right off in his hand. I said, you won't screw that thing back on, Earl? He's trying to set it on there when the fire fell off his cigar and dropped on down, sort of rolled around, then lit in the cuff of Earl's pants, burned a hole in his sock. Yes, sort of set him right on fire. I looked on out the window and started counting phone poles, going by straight of 4 to 7th power. I put 2 and 2 together and added 12 and carried 5 and come up to 22,000 telephone poles an hour. I looked at Earl and his eyes was wide, his lip was curled, and his leg was fried, and his hands were froze to the wheel like a tongue to a sled in the middle of a blizzard. I said, Earl, I'm not the type to complain, but the time has come for me to explain that if you don't apply some brakes real soon, they're going to have to pick us up with a stick and a spoon. Well, Earl reared back, cocked his leg, stepped down hard as he could on the brake. The pedal went clear to the floor and stayed right there on the floor. And Earl sort of like stepping on a plum. Well, from there on down, it just wasn't real pretty. It was Hairpin County and Switchback City. One of them looked like a can full of worms, and another looked like malaria germs. And right in the middle of the whole damn show was a real nice tunnel, now wouldn't you know? Sign says appearance to the 12-foot line, but the chickens were stacked to 13.9. Well, we shot that tunnel 110 like gas through a funnel and legs through a hen. We took that pot full of chickens all slicker and scum off the Louisiana swamp. Went down and around and around and down. And we ran out of ground at the edge of town and bashed in the side of the feed store in downtown Pagosa Springs.
Wolf Creek Pass way up on the Great Divide, trucking on down the other side. Wolf Creek Pass way up on the Great Divide, trucking on down the other side.
Now 75 or 85 or I-20 the other way. Turn your squelch to the right and in the night you'll hear some good buddies say, breaker, breaker, got a picture taker, old smokers at 43. It's that Japanese toy, that trucker's joy that everybody calls C.B. Yeah, Citizens Band. Keeps you up to date with the fender benders and the Tijuana taxis and them bears out there flip-flopping. Now ahead of your children and ahead of your wife, on the list of the 10 best things in life, your C.B.'s got to read right around number 4. Of course, Beavers, Hot Biscuits, and Merle Haggard come 1, 2, 3, you know. Well, I was loaded down coming out of Lake City. I was checking out seat covers, young and pretty, when all of a sudden there come a call over my CB, ringing wall to wall. Said, go to Double Nickels as you hit the ridge, 'cause this smoking picture takes you on the other side of the bridge. Oh, mercy, appreciate that, good buddy. What's your handle there? Come on. Got any county mounties out there prowling? Come on. And he said,
10-4, back door. Put the pedal to the metal and let it roar. Hammer down to Macon Town. Gonna see my mama, sure. Well, the bears are gone. Let's bring it on. Georgia line's out of sight. Pulled out of Richmond Town last Saturday night. And my handle is the White Knight. How about it?
all right, White Knight, hammer down. You got the mean machine here. Well, there I was, a streak, and my needle was a picking right around 79. That old diesel juice was a getting loose, and everything was fine. When wall to wall, I got a call from a front door big bear trapper. Said, break 1-9, good buddy of mine, you got a smoky and a plain white wrapper. When I jam a stick, I lost 28 quick. You could hear them gears tearing. I got past Beaver in a Camaro. I was cruising along, going so slow I could count every button on that frilly blouse she was a-wearing. Of course, there wasn't but one. Hey there, Super Trooper. Yeah, that's that crafty Smokey over there with the CB on his own. Hey, White Knight, let's slide one off on the Super Trooper. Come on.
10-4, back door, put the pedal to the metal, what you waiting for? That old white can't stay inside, gonna leave you here and say no more, how about it?
Wow, now, buddy, that's fighting talk. I'll get up there and blow your door off. When I hammered down like I had wings, little gravels on my wheels going ping, ping, ping. About the time I hit 92, I saw something flashing in my rear view. Thought to myself, that can't be true, but there it was, going blue, blue, blue. Uh-oh, bubblegum machine done hit the jackpot. Well, I could see that barrel laughing big, hanging in tight on the back of my rig. Right there and then it come to me, wall to wall. So in that cold, dark Georgia night, in the shadow of smoky bear's blue light, I decided to make just one more CB call. Break 1-9 for the Super Trooper. Hey there, Smokey, old buddy. Tell me if I'm right. Are you the front door or are you the White Knight? Come on. And he said,
10-4, back door. You in a heap of trouble, boy, for sure. Gonna read you your rights, treat you fair. Just pull over there with your rocking chair. Want you boys to know each other real well, 'cause you're gonna be sharing the same jail cell. You make 12 cotton pickers I've caught tonight, run
running front door is the white knight. How about it? 40 miles over speed limit. You boys gonna be here a spell.
That's it, cotton pickers. I done the ground and my tail in jail and my rigging pounded. So when you're coming through the Georgia night, don't ever get no front door called the White Knight. No, sir. Wind up the pokey with Smokey. I'm gonna pull that old CB thing out by the wires. I don't care if it is done.
Roll on, Big Mama. Roll on, Big Mama. I like the way you sing. Roll on, Big Mama. The night time lets her free. Well, the feel of the wheel delivers me from a life where I don't wanna be. And a piece of smoke with a heavy throat sings a song with a heavy note. And rambling is the life I chose, sitting here between the yellow line to keep at time. Things that's running through my mind, through my mind. Roll on, Big Mama. I like the way you roll. Roll on, Big Mama. You are my very soul. Well, on to the snow and the driving rain, to the 40 below and the bang of rain, to 110 and the Texas sun. There ain't no road that we ain't run. Up to the Colorado mountain top, down to the desert where Reno stops, north to the green of Coeur d'Alene. There ain't no road that we ain't seen. We ain't seen. Roll on, Big Mama. You're singing out my song. Roll on, Big Mama. The highway is our home. Roll on, Big Mama. Hey, anybody out there got a copy on this Delta Road Hog? What's the smoky situation down there, boys? Mighty fine. I'm a-coming, I'm a-coming. Woo, son, I'm a-coming. So you got one down there on Market Road 124?
All you big and burly men who roll the trucks along, better listen, you'll be thankful when you hear my song. You have really got it made if you're hauling goods any place on earth but those Haynesville woods. It's a stretch of road up north in Maine that's never, ever, ever seen a smile. If they buried all the truckers lost in them woods, there'd be a tombstone every mile. Count 'em off, there'd be a tombstone every mile. When you're loaded with potatoes and you're headed down, you've gotta drive the woods to get to Boston town. When it's winter up in Maine, better check it over twice. That Haynesville road is just a ribbon of ice. It's a stretch of road up north in Maine that's never, ever, ever seen a smile. If they buried all the truckers lost in them woods, there'd be a tombstone every mile. Down about there'd be a tombstone every mile. When you're talking to a trucker that's been hauling goods down that stretch of road in Maine they call the Haynesville Woods, he'll tell you the dying and going down below won't be half as bad as driving on that road of ice and snow. It's a stretch of road up north in Maine that's never, ever, ever seen a smile. If they buried all the truckers lost in them woods, there'd be a tombstone every mile. Out of all, there'd be a tombstone every mile.
Well, Interstate 80, we was cutting the fall, just me and old Sloan. Old Sloan's my dog. We had a 18-wheeler with 10 on the floor and a stereo, laying a strip. Then we spied a sign that said E-gas now. We decided to whip in and pick up some chow at the old home filler up and keep on the truckin' cafe.
Oh, the old home filler up and keep on the truckin'. Oh, the old home filler up.
Looking for Mavis.
Oh, the old home filler up and keep on the truckin' cafe.
Now we've been every place between here and South Sioux, and we've seen us a truck stop waiting for two, but this gal built like a filled-out bag full of bobcats. She's got it together. She filled my tank. I said, thank you, honey. Name was Mavis. I gave her the money. Old Sloan just sit there watching and a wagging and a wishing. I said, you wait in the truck, boy. Then I went inside. She says, what'll it be? I says, a cup of your best and a number 3. She come back with an order to go and a quart of hot C and a bone for Sloan. I said, much obliged. Old Sloan gave a bark. I left her a buck, and he left his heart at the old home filler up and keep on the truckin' cafe.
Oh, the old home filler up and keep on the truckin'. Oh, the old home filler up and keep on the truckin'. Oh, the old home filler up and keep on the truckin' cafe.
Well, Saturday night we was trucking along. Yeah, me and old Sloan was getting it on. I said, Sloan, I've been a-thinking on to getting up my courage and the night's tonight. Well, I popped the clutch, gave the tranny a spin, took the beat town round and slid on in to the old home filler up and keep on the truckin' cafe.
Oh, the old home filler up and keep on the truckin'. Oh, the old home filler.
It never closes.
Oh, the old home filler up and keep on the truckin' cafe.
Well, I got me a stool, took a load off my shoe, made Mavis an offer that she couldn't refuse. I said, how'd you like to go for a ride with me and old Sloan? I just had my truck washed. She was loud how it sounded like a whole lot of fun, but we was going to have to wait till the dishes was done. Was it all right with me if she brought along her mother as a chaperone? I said, why not? Well, we geared that tranny into super low, and the 4 of us went to see a picture show. Yeah, I took them to the drive-in theater over by Pisgah to see True Grit. Saw the late show. Old Sloan hit the sack, then along about 2 o'clock I hauled him on back to the old home filler up and keep on the truckin' cafe.
Oh, the old home filler up and keep on the truckin'. Oh, the old home filler up and keep on the truckin'. Oh, the old home filler up and keep on the truckin' cafe.
8 stools and a palmer.
Oh, the old home filler up and keep on the truckin'. Oh, the old home filler up and keep on the truckin'. Oh, the old home filler up and keep on the truckin' cafe.
They got a real nice place there.